Hello and welcome back. We are currently looking at utility software, and in this video we're looking at Defragmenter. Now, before we start talking about what the Defragmenter tool is, let's talk a little bit about what we've looked at in our hardware topic, and that is of the hard drive. Here is a hard drive. In our hard drive, we don't have just one hard drive. In fact, a hard drive is made up of several disks. Here is a side view of what it would look like if we were to take the casing off the hard drive. What we would see would be several disks. These disks are called platters, and these can be as many as 8 platters within a hard drive. On the platters, or between the platters, we have these read-write heads, and information can be read both on top and beneath the platter. And these read-write heads will move in unison, forwards and backwards, finding the data on the hard drive as well as writing data to the hard drive. Here is one platter, and if we were to have a microscope and drill down into the hard drive, we would see that the platter itself is made up of disks or tracks. Each track has a little sector. The sector holds just a few kilobytes of information, and this is the smallest storage we have on the hard drive. Information is stored on several sectors around the actual hard drive itself. What we have here is a magnified version of several sectors on one track. And we're coming up with a theoretical example. Let's just say that a Word file has been saved. Now, what we want to happen, or what the computer wants to do, is to save the file in one contiguous space. That means that there are no gaps. So this would be nice. We've got this Word document all here. We've got an Excel document, Flash document, Illustrator, database. We've got some free sectors. So everything is nice and compact. Now, at some point, let's say we want to delete the Word file. So we'll get rid of this Word file. And let's say we want to get rid of our Flash file. So let's see if we do that. Now, we've gone and just created now a Photoshop file, a big Photoshop file. And we go and save it. And what the computer does, it puts its file, it saves the file like this. It will save it, PSP is Photoshop, it saves it here. It would like to put it here, but there's a file already there. So it goes to the next vacant spaces, and these were left vacant because we deleted the Word file and the Flash file. And we've got some free tracks up here. So let's say that the file needs this space as well. Well, you can see that we've got the Photoshop file here, we've got the Photoshop file here, and we've got the Photoshop file there. So this one Photoshop file is having to be saved in different locations. Now that's fine up to a point, but over a period of time we're going to find that more and more files become fragmented. And as a result of it becoming fragmented, what happens is that the read-write heads are going to have to move that much more to be able to read that information. And as a result of that, it takes longer for that information to be found and put up onto a screen because of the amount of time the read-write heads are having to move across the disks. Similarly, if there's a lot of fragmentation on the platters, then actually writing it as well is going to take an increased time. So what happens is that we need to use the defragmenter to essentially put everything back. It works a bit like this. Okay, so what we have here is a before and an after. The before, we knew that the Photoshop file was in 1, 2, 3 different places. But what the defragmenter does, it picks up all that file and plonks it in one area. So we have all that Photoshop file in one contiguous area. There are no gaps, it's all in one place. As are all the other files. By doing that, we have several advantages using the defragmenter. They are as follows. Okay, so we have some advantages. Well, the first one is it's going to reduce the read-write time to disk. Basically, the read-write heads have less distance to travel, everything is in one spot, they can do their job much more quickly. As a result of the read-write time being reduced, we're able to increase what's called the access speed. That means we're able to get to where we want to get to, we're able to open up those documents that much more quickly. All of the files are now going to be rearranged and stored, and that makes the hard drive much more organised. And it's not just for our application files, but for our program files as well. If we can get those organised, then even the startup time for our computer can be greatly reduced. So what do we need to know for our defragmenter? Okay, so for our defragmenter, we need to know what the purpose is. Well, the purpose is to reduce the read-write time to access data. That's the whole purpose of our defragmenter. How does it do that? Well, it's going to go and place files in contiguous sectors. So it's going to pick everything up where it's all over the hard drive and place them in one spot. The advantage of all that is that it's going to increase our access speed. We're going to be able to open up programs that much more quickly. It's going to rearrange all those files which were everywhere in nice places or in an organised fashion on the hard drive. And it's going to improve the startup time. We're going to be able to actually get going a lot quicker on a computer once we've turned it on. Okay, so that was our defragmenter software in the utility software. I'll see you for the next one shortly. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.